let's go forward. The conference system was a little different to what I'm used to. I'm used to hooking up my own computer. I had to upload this to a system, and somehow miraculously it was supposed to end up on this machine, which didn't work, so I ended up with my USB stick. So this is my, there we go. And this is the ad hoc talk on various topics. So, Clemens Bartolo from Interactive Instruments, are you here? Okay, he's not, so I will take over. I've prepared this because I know Clemens for a really long time. He's always wrapped up in, oh, IOC, oh God, yeah, sure, he's not going to be here. So what can you do about OGC standards if they don't fit your size, if something's wrong, if something needs to be done? You can post a change request. That's a very simple procedure. You can post change requests, new requirements, and then you specify what programs and organizations affected, hint, hint, Inspire. And then you say linkage to external standards. Are there other standards which are connected to this? Are there priority, due days, implications of non-action? What would be the implication of non-action if you don't have the standards to work correctly with your Inspire? In the worst case, maybe legally it has already been accepted and you can't do it, you have to pay money. So that would be non-action implication that you get there. And you can say what programs, policies, and laws are affected by this. Now, this process works quite nice. Has anybody of you already ever before posted a change request into OGC? Yeah, see, there are 3 people. I have to raise my own. And it actually works. You can do this.
You're not from Europe.
But for some reason, there was some disconnect because there is no institution that has fingers that can actually post a change request. This is my most recent understanding why some of the changes that Inspire requires are not in the OGC standards. It's my only explanation I have, because there's many people who need Inspire services to function, and there's many people overlapping in their membership with Inspire and with OGC, but still there is not many change requests related to OGC to Inspire. So any ideas why this is the case? I'm going to integrate you no matter what, so I'm going to continue and hope that you come back with some good ideas. This is a workshop, remember? Because it's a workshop, you cannot buy things, but you can actually get these nice USB sticks, these memory sticks, with a market report on from OGC standards, and it's open standards and Inspire. That's about 20 pages, and it's been funded by OGC members to have this report, and it's good read through the standards that already are there in the open and the standards that are used in Inspire, so you see how interweaved this is. So this is actually an issue that shouldn't be an issue. On the other hand, I understand very well that a single person that has to implement the Inspire service is not going to go to the OGC and make a change request, because it's not their responsibility. So there is a vacuum of responsibility to go to the OGC and say, we need this and this change in the standard. It's a very simple thing. There is a web form, you go there, post your things, and you're done. So I'm really not sure why this didn't happen. And I could even have done it myself, but I'm not responsible. Because I don't even have to publish a service, so I'm really not responsible. That works by itself. And then there is MOUs, that's a Memorandum of Understanding, or a liaison agreement between these organizations, and it actually works. It works because people like John Herring work for the ISO, and they work for OGC, and they talk to both sides of it. And they cause trouble in the OGC because they know what ISO says and vice versa. So this kind of people, they really make this work together. And probably we need more people like this in a more informal manner, maybe even, I'm not sure. ISO is not exactly informal. You should know probably. So fundamental challenges. there's responsiveness in addressing standards requirements and lifecycle maintenance. The timely registration of user community requirements for new and existing standards. Timely assessment, testing, and feedback. Harmonization of work and appropriate release cycles. This brings up another issue. In a legal environment, release cycles are not well known. Like if you have a law, it's a law. You don't have release cycles for laws. At least I didn't hear of it before. For technology, you do have this. So how are we going to get this together? You have technology that it evolves, and on their side you have legal things, they get stuck. What? You don't think so? So addressing local or regional requirements in a global process is another issue. Europe is big and Europe is important, but Europe is not the world. So on one side, the world is already looking into Inspire and what they can use for it. There was a nice discussion on LinkedIn on national spatial data information systems. And he was asking, oh, I want to choose between 3 products. Which one shall I use so I can do my national spatial data infrastructure? Maybe it doesn't work like this. But at least the perception is Inspire has solved all the issues, which is cool. Major considerations, interoperability requirements, understanding community impacts. Well, in Inspire, it's pretty well known what the impact is going to be. Policy, legal, and program context. Testing, validation, and feedback as early as possible, harmonization, and a persistent infrastructure. Persistent infrastructure is interesting from many different aspects. A persistent infrastructure would be nice to test and to have compliance. It would be nice to have a persistent infrastructure when we publish data so that the Inspire IDs actually survive release cycles of data updates and release cycles of software updates and release cycles of policy updates. So that's 3 enemies against the poor Inspire ID that is supposed to survive. So we're going to have to take care for this ID, because if we want to look into the future and look into linked data, linked open data, RDF, and all these kinds of things, we need this link, we need this ID. It's very important. It's one of the most central things. To me, as a whatever, it's even more important than the complexity of the GML. I couldn't care less about the complexity of the data models. Anybody doing with data, please kill me now. But more important is to have the connection between those things. That's what's spatially important. This is what is really relevant. So, effective and efficient coordination among standards bodies. And standards bodies here is a bit vague. What is a standards body? Is Inspire a standards body? Is ISO and is OGC, are they all they are standards bodies, but they're very different. One of them is legal, one of them is global, one of them is European and doesn't have a head, it just exists. So you can choose which one of them pertains to which one. So there's many different kinds of standards bodies, and it's hard to integrate the differences there. So in summary, the OGC advancing implementation level standards that have benefited the European and international user community needs. Did anybody understand this? Let's go on. European membership can influence OGC standards development and testing programs. This is important. You can do this, and I invite you to please really take this chance and really do it. Go to the change request page of the OGC and ask for changes if you need them. And maybe go to Inspire and ask Inspire for changes if you need them or if you think they're important, if you find somebody who's responsible there. Improved communication between OGC and the Inspire process may help to address harmonization of standards needs for Europe. This is a no-brainer, obviously. And early, well-defined and formal articulation of standards requirements is critical if OGC is to be responsive. So the more precise you can be in your change requests, the more chances are that it will be timely addressed in the different standards. And test early, test often. I like this a lot because this is an open source mantra. I'm already getting confused now. Publish early and release often. Whatever you do, tell people about it. Because only if you tell people, you get feedback. If you work for yourself and don't tell anybody, and then you present your finished thing, it will not work. Okay, thank you. Also for Athena Chakas, who helped me to prepare this. And we have some more slides from the OGC technical update, so this is not the end of it, but the end of this session.